So, welcome everyone, and thank you for joining me. Today, I invite you to a gentle practice of ancestral healing, a way of honoring those who came before you while releasing what was never yours to carry. So, we are not just individuals moving through life alone. We, every single one of us, is a part of a long line of people who survived, loved, struggled, fought, dreamt, so that we could be here today. In our bodies, we carry their gifts, their strength, their resilience, and their wisdom. But sometimes, we also carry their unfinished business, their stories, their pain, their grief, their fears. Now, these things can pass through generations like an invisible inheritance, affecting how we feel, how we react, and how we move through the world. Now, the beautiful thing is that you have the power to transform this inheritance. You can keep what serves you and gently release what doesn't. You can be the one in your lineage who says, "This pattern ends here with love." So today's meditation is about becoming a healing presence in your family line, not by fixing the past, but by freeing yourself and the future generations from carrying the burdens that were never meant to be permanent. Now, as we settle in, find a comfortable position for this journey, for this meditation. You could be sitting up, lying down, very gently if your body allows. You can close your eyes. And let's take a few natural breaths, allowing your body to relax. Feel yourself sitting here in this moment, knowing that you are both connected to a long line of ancestors, and you're also completely free to choose your own path. Falling deeper into your body, into your subconscious, and having now access to the ancestral soul field, to that part of me which I cannot always see, but is always connected to those that came before me. Consciously, with intention, dropping now into the ancestral soul field. Now, anything that comes up for you today, anything that shows up for you today, is exactly what you're meant to see, feel, and experience. With this trust, bring to mind the people now who came before you. Your parents, your grandparents, and maybe other people in your family, aunts, uncles, going further back. I may not know their names, I just know they are there. As I now find myself surrounded or in the presence of those that came before me, think how these people have lived through wars, migrations, joys, losses. They fell in love, they raised children, they worked hard, and they did their best with what they knew. They carried hopes, they carried dreams, many of which they may never have fulfilled. Feel the strength that it took for all these people to survive and create life, generation after generation, so you could be here today. Now, gently notice what you may have inherited from this line. Perhaps you carry their resilience, their ability to keep going through difficult times. Perhaps you have their creativity, their humor, their capacity for love. Perhaps you inherited their connection to land, to a family, to a tradition. And they are all gifts that you've been blessed with. So feel the gratitude for these gifts. Now, the same way I have these gifts, I may also notice other inheritances, other patterns that feel a bit heavier, perhaps a tendency towards worry that doesn't really belong to your life, perhaps a fear of speaking up, perhaps a sadness that feels bigger than your own experiences, perhaps anger that erupts without any warning, or carrying the fire of old injustices. And these patterns made sense for your ancestors. There must be a reason that they're there. They must have helped them survive, but they may not be necessary for you anymore. So let's take a moment now to sense into your own body and ask, what am I carrying that belongs to my ancestors? What am I carrying that belongs to my ancestors? What am I carrying that belongs to my ancestors? Now you may feel a warmth, cold, tingling, tightness, tension in your shoulders, heaviness in your heart, a fear, a pattern. Just notice whatever shows up without judgment. Now, whatever is showing up for you right now, just notice that your ancestors carried these things because they had to and they were doing their best. Now ask yourself, what in me is truly mine to carry? What in me is truly mine to carry? Perhaps it's your own dreams, your own challenges, your own growth. It's the wisdom that you've gained from your own experiences. Perhaps it's your particular gift and your personal calling. Feel the difference between what's yours and what belongs to your ancestral line. Now, with great compassion, speak to your ancestors. You can just receive my words. You can repeat this to yourself out loud or in your mind, whatever feels right for you. Dear ones who came before me, I see how hard you worked, how much you sacrificed, how much you endured. I honor your journey. I carry your love and strength in my heart. But there are burdens you carried that I no longer need to carry. With love and respect, I give these back to you. They served their purpose in your time, but my time is different. I release your unhealed pain with love. I release your unspoken fears with gratitude for your protection. I release your unexpressed anger with understanding for your struggle. I release your unfulfilled dreams while honoring what they taught me about hope. Now, as you've said these words, imagine, sense, see, and feel these patterns transforming into light, returning to your ancestors as a healing energy that they can finally receive. Any changes that you feel in your body, just allow, and allow. Now, consciously choose what you want to keep from your ancestral line. I choose to keep your courage. I choose to keep your love. I choose to keep your resilience. I choose to keep your wisdom about what truly matters. And now feel these gifts flowing through your body as a light, as a strength, and as grace. Now, as I've released what I no longer need, and I've honored and accepted what I'm choosing to keep, from this place of freedom, I will now set an intention for what I want to create in my lineage. I choose to heal what can be healed. I choose to love where there was fear. I choose to speak where there was silence. I choose to forgive where there was resentment. I choose to create a new pattern of wholeness, honoring what came before me while creating my new life. Now, whether you have children or not, your healing in this field affects your future generations. So, as a general blessing forward, we say, to those that will come after me, I offer patterns of love instead of fear, healing instead of wounding, freedom instead of limitation. May the healing I am doing today make your journey lighter. Now let's take a moment just to feel gratitude. I feel so much gratitude right now for my ancestors who survived so I could be here, for my own courage in choosing to heal these patterns, and for the freedom to create something new while honoring that came before me. In this moment, I feel deeply rooted in ancestral love. but also free to grow in my own direction. Now, if you are in a process, you're very welcome to pause this meditation and continue to stay where you are. Now, as we begin to close, let's bring gentle movement back to the body. I'm traveling back in time, back in time, back in time. I'm feeling myself now in the here and now. I'm only carrying forward what serves me and choosing now to come back to the room, to my body, to the now. Take a few deep breaths now. And now, whenever you feel ready, you can open your eyes. Now remember, ancestral healing is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing relationship with your lineage based on love. You can choose to honor your ancestors and their stories while choosing your own path. You can feel gratitude for their sacrifices while refusing to repeat their stories. Healing your ancestral line doesn't mean that you'll never face challenges. It means you'll face them with the accumulated wisdom of all those who came before you, plus your own unique gifts, without carrying unnecessary burdens from the past. You are both rooted and free, connected and independent. Now, thank you very much for joining me today and for being the one in your family line who's choosing healing. You're very welcome to return to this recording whenever you feel drawn to, and you may have a different experience every time you do this for yourself. So thank you very much for joining me, and namaste.